Hi, this is Robert from Part Fusion Electronics. In my last video I showed a clear version of my giant LED, and I mentioned about trying to make the LED bulb more diffused so the lighting would kind of come out the sides rather than all out the top like this. So here we have a diffused LED and a normal clear LED, and something is making the LED diffused. Earlier this year in April I did a video where I used some of this pinata white alcohol ink mixed in with UV resin to try and kind of color match to a diffused LED. And it did work okay, but I needed a very small amount of the pigment in the resin to get an effect. After doing more research on white pigments, there seems to be two different types. One is titanium dioxide, and another kind of older version is zinc oxide. I have a feeling that this pinata color uses a titanium dioxide, which is kind of a modern kind of bright white color, and the zinc tends to be slightly offering a more translucent effect, which I thought was going to be more useful for the LED bulb where I want a bit of a transparent effect. So I got these pigment powders to try and use so that I wouldn't be mixing in any kind of alcohol or acrylic paint into my bulb to contaminate the mix. So these are the pigment powders. On the left is the titanium dioxide and on the right is the zinc. The lighting isn't great, but I think you can see there's a slight difference. So this is kind of much brighter white, and this is slightly creamier white, the zinc oxide. So what I did is I portioned out a small bit, I believe at the part B, and then I mixed in a very small amount of the pigment powder into the part B, making sure to try and remove as many of the kind of little clumps as possible. Once I was happy with that, I poured in some of the part A and mixed as normal. So these are the results of mixing in 0.5% the pigment. You can see, so this is the titanium dioxide and this is the zinc oxide. And you can see there's definitely a different kind of color, and the zinc oxide does seem to be a little bit more translucent. 0.5% of the resin is still way too much. So I diluted the batch further and I got it down to 0.02%. So this is the titanium dioxide and this was the zinc oxide. My digital scale does go down to 100 of a gram, but it's a 300 gram. It was very difficult to measure out very accurately using this digital scale. Titanium dioxide is still quite opaque, and the zinc oxide is much more translucent. So I decided I would be using the zinc oxide as my primary pigment. So this is the result of mixing in 0.2% of the pigment powder. And here's the clear LED in comparison. So you now can't see any of the internal details, which isn't ideal. It would be nice. So I might look to reduce the concentration even more, maybe going to 0.01%. The results do seem to be similar. You can make out the details of the normal size diffused LED or the 5mm diffused LED because of the actual thickness of resin and pigment. It's obscured. So these are the results with the lighting on. My overhead lights are very bright, so you can't see the full effect. But the effect with the diffusing is much better. I think the bulb kind of stands and shines out more. And with the lights off, the effect again is very good. I also made an LED version with a green LED. And again, I like the green in the diffused package. I also tried to make a blue LED, but the LEDs I ordered turned out to be much more of a cyan blue rather than a kind of RGB blue. I plan on ordering a different blue LED and trying that in the future. I think the only piece I haven't really talked too much about is the 2mm banana plug. So the socket will get soldered onto the brass rod. Then a banana fitting can plug in and out relatively easy into that. There's a few different types of connectors. Here we have kind of round, then a kind of more square, and I've also made up these kind of PCB boards that support the legs. I think I've worked out all of the details now of how to make these refined LEDs. I'll probably do one more video in where I basically go through all of the steps, maybe in a time lapse. So if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. Please like and subscribe and share on multimedia. Thank you. Bye bye.